A political earthquake struck South Africa as several of its top African National Congress (ANC) officials were arrested overseas, prompting an international investigation that now implicates President Cyril Ramaphosa in what has been termed a far-reaching international corruption ring spanning Europe, the Middle East, and parts of Asia. The scandal erupted after the governments of Switzerland and the United Arab Emirates confirmed that three top South African political leaders closely linked to Ramaphosa's administration had been arrested. The alleged offences include money laundering, illegal arms sales, and offshore financial scams. According to leaked documents from Interpol and various financial intelligence units, the arrested individuals were allegedly involved in a multi-billion rand network that siphoned public funds from state contracts and laundered them through international shell companies, high-value art auctions, and cryptocurrency assets. This is not just another scandal, this is international state-level fraud, said one European Union financial crimes investigator speaking anonymously. Alarmingly, President Ramaphosa's name appears in several key communications that are now part of the investigation. Those currently in detention include a former Minister of Public Enterprises, arrested in Zurich while attempting to board a private flight, an ANC fundraiser, detained in Dubai with assets worth about $800 million, approximately $43 million, seized, and a state-connected business advisor, arrested in London, who is suspected of being the mastermind behind the offshore financial networks used to transfer illicit funds. European investigators claim this group operated under a secret political directive aimed at fortifying ANC offshore war chests in preparation for the 2026 general elections. The most explosive revelation to date comes from a leaked 2023 company memorandum, obtained by an independent German media watchdog. Labeled Highly Confidential Presidential Directive, the document appears to show that President Ramaphosa himself signed off on at least one offshore transfer connected with a Dubai-based logistics firm now under criminal investigation. The memo cites approval from CR for project funding flows through non-traditional channels for strategic initiatives abroad. While the document is still undergoing formal verification, Interpol has confirmed it as part of the official evidence. Additional emails attached to the memo, circulating among European investigative journalists, indicate the participation of foreign brokers linked to intelligence services and transnational corporations. The papers suggest more extensive global collusion, hinting that some of the stolen money may have been used for lobbying efforts in Brussels and Geneva to shield South African decision-makers from questioning in international financial debates. At a hastily called press conference Tuesday night, presidential spokesperson Vincent Magwenya categorically denied any involvement by Ramaphosa, calling the accusations deliberately timed disinformation ahead of the election. The president has never authorized or benefited from illegal financial dealings. These are spurious, politically driven, and evidently intended to destabilize South Africa, he declared. Critics remain unconvinced. Opposition leaders quickly called for an official investigation and even impeachment within hours of the press conference. EFF leader Julius Malema wasted no time fueling the political firestorm, issuing a live video on social media in which he said, "We have always said Ramaphosa is the darling of white monopoly capital and foreign agents, now the world sees it too. Arrest him." Malema added that South Africa should not be led by an international criminal, calling for a complete audit of all state deals concluded during Ramaphosa's presidency and issuing an ultimatum: if Parliament does not act within 14 days, the EFF will organize nationwide protests. At the same time, DA leader John Steenhuisen demanded an emergency sitting of Parliament. "The integrity of our democracy is under attack. We cannot let silence and denial become state policy," he said. The DA has formally applied to Parliament to create a bipartisan oversight committee and is calling for the immediate suspension of all ANC officials named in the initial Interpol dossier. Global analysts are warning that the crisis could escalate into the worst corruption scandal since the infamous Gupta dynasty years. The Swiss Federal Prosecutor's Office has already called for full cooperation from South Africa's National Prosecuting Authority, NPA, and the UK's Serious Fraud Office, SFO, has pledged its participation. Economic experts are cautioning that without swift and decisive government action, South Africa could face severe consequences, including sanctions, halted foreign investment, and another downgrade of its sovereign credit rating, potentially freezing billions in foreign funding. Our institutions need to act swiftly or risk facing global isolation, warned economic veterans. There is mounting pressure for Parliament to launch a formal judicial commission of inquiry into Ramaphosa's financial dealings, with whispers of a no-confidence vote growing among opposition MPs. International assets belonging to the ANC could soon be frozen under anti-corruption laws. Meanwhile, the president has yet to make a personal statement, fueling speculation and uncertainty over his next move. Civil society organizations are joining the calls for accountability. The South African Council of Churches issued a strong political statement demanding ethical clarity and decisive justice. Student groups and trade unions have also begun organizing protests to demand accountability from both the ANC leadership and its president. Human rights lawyers have petitioned the Constitutional Court for immediate transparency in ANC finances. As the scandal deepens, South Africans are bracing for what could become a defining moment in the nation's democratic history. The coming days may determine whether South Africa confronts its corruption crisis head-on or succumbs to further institutional decay. The political, legal, and economic stakes could not be higher. The 2026 election may not simply shift the balance of power, it could redefine the destiny of South African democracy itself. Ask ChatGPT.